I don't give a damn what's going on with the team. They're trash right now. We understand that. They have the worst superstar in the sport in Kawhi Leonard, who is a talent when healthy, no doubt, but does nothing to promote his team.
Kawhi Leonard is one of the worst free agent signings in NBA history.
The Los Angeles Clippers were supposed to play very well this season. They have a new stadium, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and everyone was talking about them winning the championship. Instead, it is a mess. I do not care what Lawrence Frank says about it.
I don't give a damn what Lawrence Frank has to say. I don't like what he did. I don't have much of a relationship with Lawrence Frank. I've always respected him. I remember when he was the head coach of the Nets. I remember when he was the head coach of the Detroit Pistons. I know the man knows his basketball. I always found it a bit sketchy, iffy. How does Doc Rivers bring you in as an assistant and you end up being the president of basketball operations over him before ultimately assisting and letting him go? I always find that to be very, very suspicious. But that's a story for another day.
The new beginning has fallen apart into fighting, injuries, and sadness. With no draft picks, a very high payroll, and bad team chemistry, the Clippers are stuck in their own mess. Now they face one very hard choice: trade Kawhi Leonard, move James Harden, or admit the dream of a super team is finished. The Clippers are finally forced to make the decision they have avoided for years: trading their superstar, Kawhi Leonard. The team's main player is now at the center of a big problem with player salaries, and things are going wrong very fast. They just sent the 40-year-old Chris Paul away right in the middle of what was supposed to be his nice final run with the team. That move shocked everyone.
I'm disappointed in the Clippers organization.
But here is the twist. This is not as simple as just trading Kawhi. On paper, he is still getting great numbers: 25.4 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting almost 49%. Those are numbers that show he is a top player. But when you look at the whole picture, it looks much worse. The Clippers have a very bad record of 7 wins and 19 losses, which is worse than teams that are purposely trying to lose. It is a mess mixed with confusion, and the team cannot seem to stop losing. If the team managers somehow handle this correctly, they could trade Kawhi to a team that desperately wants to win and is willing to bet big on his best years. But if they mess it up, like they have with many decisions lately, they will become like the Brooklyn Nets of the West. They will be too expensive, lost, and everyone will laugh at them. This whole problem starts and ends with one man, Kawhi Anthony Leonard. He is the quiet storm that is shaking the entire Clippers franchise. To really understand why the Clippers are finally facing this truth, you have to see how deep this disaster goes.
Kawhi Leonard messed it all up. All the times they had a chance to make a run, like even the bubble time, Paul George was going through mental health and stuff and whatever. It just been a whole bad run. Like even before they got Kawhi Leonard, they was in a way better position though. When they had Shea, Lou, and all them. If you think about it now, if they would have handed the keys over to Shea, shit, where would the Clippers be?
The Clippers started this season thinking they were built to play deep into the playoffs, maybe even getting a chance at the finals. On July 18th, they made a big move by signing the 3-time All-Star player Bradley Beal. That move got the entire league excited.
And so this is a player that has 3-time All-Star experience. He's a former All-NBA player as well. They see him as a natural, seamless fit at the starting shooting guard position after the trade of Norman Powell.
Yeah, it's sort of a clear role that he slots into for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Experts were calling this a huge change in power in the West. And Steve Ballmer was apparently ready to start one of his crazy celebration dances right then. But the excitement did not last long. Disaster hit before the new player even put on his uniform. Just weeks later, he was ruled out for the entire season with a very bad hip injury. That single twist of fate ruined the Clippers' big plan before it could even start. With the new player gone and the problems in their team showing fast, the team's season went straight down. They only managed to win 6 of their first 24 games. That is a terrible 6 wins and 18 losses start. It is one of the ugliest beginnings in the team's history. At this speed, they are going to finish the season with a sad 22 wins. This is a complete disaster for a team that people expected to win around 50 games. To explain how bad this is, during Kawhi's best year in Toronto, just having him there helped the Raptors win 17 more games. Yet now, even though Kawhi is getting almost the same numbers, The Clippers look like they have gone back in time to the days before they were good. Sloppy, inconsistent, and getting beaten by teams that are not even trying to win. It is crazy. They are spending about $50 million on Kawhi, plus another $40 million on James Harden, for a team that is playing worse than the Utah Jazz, who are rebuilding. Imagine spending money for superstar results, but getting results from a team that is trying to lose.
It's December 2nd. The Clippers are 5-16. They have to be thinking about trading some of their big parts because their offseason transactions were all swing and miss.
The main problem is this. The Clippers convinced themselves they were playing a very advanced game of strategy, while everyone else was just playing a simple game. Their big plan was set on the year 2027, which they called the long game. They thought they could survive with the Kawhi Paul George Harden trio, handle the large amount of draft picks they still owe to OKC from the Paul George trade, and finally restart once all those massive player contracts were finished. That was the dream. That was the grand idea. But now it is turning into a very expensive nightmare.
I'm just disappointed, to be honest. I can't think of really another word. Obviously shocked at first, but disappointed. I'm disappointed for Chris Paul, but I'm disappointed in the Clippers organization.
But like the great thinker once said, everyone has a plan until they get punched right in the mouth over and over again. The Clippers are not just losing, they are falling apart right now while everyone watches. The mess with the Chris Paul farewell became a big public relations nightmare. It publicly embarrassed a team legend and showed how out of touch the team management can be.
They have a very good front office. So, what you're about to do.
Everybody keeps saying that.
I know
that the Clippers have this great front office. Based on what?
I mean, I don't know. I think they're smart how they read it.
Well, they can be as smart as they want. They lose all the time.
Yeah.
They just lose. Screw up Blake Griffin. Screw up Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Screw up everything. You are an apologist for the Clippers. Yeah, and you're not the only one.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, the media is in love with that front office. Because, like you say, they got nice guys over there. Lawrence Frank's a good guy. Lee Jenkins is a good guy. You know what? There are a lot of good guys. They're both, how can a logical person not say these guys are bad at their jobs? They just are.
Well, if
They're
you're
bad
going
at
on
their
results
jobs.
this year, I think you have to
fan.
Now their reputation across the league has fallen right back to that label of a poor franchise that they worked for years to get rid of. To make things even messier, both the team's ownership and their main superstar are involved in a current investigation. This is throwing the whole organization into complete chaos.
Kawhi Leonard only gives a damn about Kawhi Leonard. And guess what? It's too late because now he just started, I believe, the first year of a $153 million extension they gave him last year. So his trade value is not there. So now you're stuck with him and you're 5-16 and you're going absolutely nowhere.
The team management is getting criticized nonstop on every sports show and social media site. Everyone is calling them out for their clumsy decisions and for causing damage to themselves. This disaster has reporters like Brian Windhorst and Tim Bontemps asking the question the Clippers tried to avoid for years. If this era has officially failed, who goes first, Harden or Kawhi? The harsh truth is that trading Kawhi is almost impossible. No team is eager to take on that massive contract for a player who has missed large parts of many seasons. Add in the investigation, and things get even harder. Sure, Kawhi still shows brief moments of his old greatness, turning into that great two-way player again. But his absolute best years seem to be fading away. Then there is the math, and the math is brutal. With the league's new rules, teams are simply not going to pay over $50 million for a player whose availability is hard to predict. This is not the 2019 version of Kawhi who carried Toronto to a championship. This is 2025 Kawhi, where the talk has changed from, how much would someone pay for him, to, is his contract even worth it anymore?
As far as I'm concerned, if you look back revisionist history, at this point in time right now, you would most likely look at the Clipper trade worse than the Dallas trade for Luka.
According to Windhorst, several team executives in the league are already whispering that Kawhi might be a deal with negative value. Now, that is wild. There is still talk that Miami would be the best place for Kawhi if the Clippers ever put him on the trade market. The Heat culture is known for taking troubled stars and turning them into winning players. But with rumors going around that Giannis might become available in the next free agency cycle, Even the Heat might wait before chasing Leonard. On paper, trading James Harden seems much easier. His contract is smaller, his health has been better, and his style still fits teams looking for a burst of scoring or a playmaker for the playoffs. Some people inside the league are convinced the Clippers will end up trading Harden instead of touching Kawhi. But do not be confused, even that path is difficult. Between contracts, timing, and reputation, every move for this team feels like walking through quicksand. The Clippers cannot simply break up the team and start over. Even if they wanted to, the ghosts of that massive 2019 Paul George trade are still haunting them.
Now, think about Kawhi Leonard. Think about everything that was going on when he left the Toronto, when he was making the decision after he won a title with the Toronto Raptors. The Lakers was pitching to try to get him. Toronto was doing everything to get him. You had the Clippers, obviously, in the mix. And before he got to the Clippers, he demanded that they bring in another star/superstar, meaning Paul George. The Clippers were begging and pleading for him to say, hey, bro, we got to keep SGA. He didn't want SGA. What did the Clippers do? They shipped SGA to OKC for Paul George with 5 first-round picks. 5 first-round picks at the time. So then you get Kawhi Leonard, by the way, only played 277 games out of 492 since being in the Clipper uniform. 277 games out of 492. They paid him over $300 million. He's been paid over $300 million since being in the Clipper uniform. They were supposed to be looking the Lakers eye to eye, okay? What have you gotten out of Kawhi since he's been in the Clipper uniform? 1 division title. And what makes it worse is that you basically helped out your ops.
Because of that deal, the Oklahoma City Thunder own LA's unprotected first-round pick in 2026 and can swap picks in 2027. To make things worse, Philadelphia has the Clippers' unprotected 2028 pick and another swap waiting in 2029. That is 4 straight years where the Clippers do not truly control their own future, not even a little bit. They will not truly own another first-round pick until 2030.
So when you think about where the Clippers are today, you think about Kawhi Leonard and what he had, his comments he said last week, basically saying he need better players around him. Do you think Kawhi Leonard went out and fought to keep Paul George? Hell no. Do you think he went out and said, hey man, y'all don't trade Norman Powell? The man averaged 24 for us last season. Man, y'all need to pay the man. Hell no.
So if they try to tank, lose games on purpose, now, all they would be doing is handing shiny new players straight to OKC and Philly easily. A rebuild by picking new players in the draft is completely impossible. That right there is the main problem of the nightmare. If the Clippers hold on to Kawhi and keep trying to compete, they are dumping huge amounts of money into a team that looks like a very expensive car with major engine trouble. Sleek, expensive, and still breaking down every other week. But if they trade him and accept the pain of a full reset, they basically get nothing from the crash because other teams would get the rewards. They are trapped in a lose-lose game. So now the question becomes, what kind of pain do they choose? Imagine yourself as the general manager for a second. Do you bet big on Kawhi Leonard, praying there is one more healthy playoff run left in him? One more flash of that killer who averaged 30.5 points a game back in the 2021 postseason? Or do you face the cold truth that this era might be done and trade him away for half his value just to finally move on? It is brutal either way. The ugly truth the Clippers are facing now is simple. Something has to change. They have reached the point where every way forward hurts, and the only thing worse than making the wrong move is standing still. For months, they have convinced themselves that the Kawhi-Harden combo still had life. They thought raw talent and fame could drag them back into being a contender. But the standings do not lie. The win column is screaming the truth. This team is not built to win anymore. and the rest of the league can smell that desperation from miles away. Now, the team management has no choice but to ask the questions they have been avoiding for years. What can be fixed? What is worth saving? Who is even tradable at this point? And most importantly, what kind of team do they want to be when everything finally settles down? It all circles back to one man, Kawhi Leonard. Even through the losing streaks, he is still playing like a star, scoring around 25 points a night, as efficient as ever, still showing flashes of that two-way monster everyone once feared. On most teams, those numbers would make you a contender. But for this version of the Clippers, it is just not enough. That is why the unthinkable is now on the table, sending their biggest name away, even if the trade return does not come close to what it would have been 5 years ago. Some teams, desperate ones, might still talk themselves into taking a chance on Kawhi Leonard. Miami is always the first name people whisper. On paper, it sounds perfect. Heat culture, Eric Spoelstra's simple system, and that brutal training program that turns older players into warriors. If anyone could squeeze one last playoff run out of Kawhi's knees, it is them.
At some point, you got to look at your organization and whether OKC is going to get your picks or not. The people who are in charge got to make a culture change from top to bottom.
You can already see the headlines. Kawhi joins the Heat team's style. But even the Heat have more important things to worry about, with talk of Giannis possibly being available for trade soon. Miami is waiting to see how that turns out before making any big moves. Then there is New York, a very important place for basketball. They are a team always chasing the next superstar. The Knicks want a comeback story. A hurt star coming into Madison Square Garden trying to make his career good again under those bright lights. This idea sells itself. They have just enough to make a trade tempting. Young players, a strong group of big players, and good flexibility with draft picks. Maybe not enough to replace Kawhi, but enough to make the Clippers think hard. But let us be honest. While trading Kawhi would be the most shocking move, trading James Harden is the most likely one. His contract is not as big. He has been more healthy, and his skills still have real value. Teams like Milwaukee could use him. Imagine Harden running plays next to Giannis and Dame. That group of three would be terrifying. Even Orlando could make sense with their young team that plays good defense, but needs an experienced playmaker to run the offense. Harden's market might not be huge, but at least teams want him. This is different from Kawhi. Still, every trade idea hits the same big wall, the past. That 2019 Paul George trade still hangs over the Clippers like a curse. OKC owns their 2026 top pick and can switch picks in 2027, while Philly holds the 2028 top pick and can switch picks in 2029. From 2026 to 2029, the Clippers do not control a single future top draft pick. They cannot lose games on purpose even if they wanted to, because every loss just gives more power to OKC and Philly. So the classic plan to break up the team and rebuild is completely off the table. The Clippers are stuck in a situation where they cannot move. They cannot lose on purpose. They cannot pretend things are fine, and they cannot ignore the mess anymore. Every move now brings pain. It is just a matter of which kind of pain they can live through. So, if the Clippers cannot lose on purpose and cannot pretend that everything is fine, what is left? There is only one way forward: the difficult middle path. It is not exciting, but it might be their only chance to survive. That means keeping Kawhi. Not because they think he will ever be the 2019 Kawhi again, but because trading him now brings back almost nothing. Losing with him might still be better than losing without him. Harden, though, could be traded for what this team truly needs: more backup players, better defense, and energy. This plan is about shaping the team again, putting hungry young players in Harden's place, and rebuilding a real team identity instead of just chasing famous players. Picture this: a new group of frontcourt players with a big man protecting the rim, athletic wing players defending hard, and shooters spreading out the floor to make things easier for Kawhi. That would not turn them into championship contenders right away, but it could make them stable again, helpful, balanced, and maybe strong enough for one last push into the playoffs. Because at this point, the Clippers are not choosing between success and failure. That choice is gone. They are choosing how to fail, collapse completely, or change direction with some pride. Do they gamble on one final run with Kawhi, or take the embarrassment of a low-value trade? They cannot lose on purpose, cannot rewind time, and cannot pretend Kawhi is still that unstoppable force. All they can do is find the path that hurts the least and hope that somewhere along it, pride, luck, and team identity finally return to a team that has been lost for too long. Now, the question lands directly on Lawrence Frank's desk. Does he double down on Kawhi Leonard or finally walk away? Whatever he chooses will decide the Clippers' future. What do you think? Should the Clippers keep Kawhi and Harden or finally break the team up? I really want to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. I am truly thankful for your opinion. Thanks for watching Basketball Pulse. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. And hey, stick around. There is another wild story waiting right after this one. See you next time. Peace.